SDSU Extension Rangeland curriculum. SARE grant number LNC 19-419. Come spend a day with us in the life of a farmer or rancher, through the good days and the bad.
Hello, I'm Gordon Gerbig, Amadon, North Dakota. I've lived here most of my life except for the years I put in the Army and a couple of years down in the Buffalo, South Dakota country. I was born here the year 1947. That was the year my dad purchased this ranch. We've been here ever since. Worked for my uncle a couple of years prior to coming here too. So this is kind of like home for me most of my life. Well, back closer to home there we have our winter pastures that we try to use after December 31st. If the weather allows us to use it, due to snow and things like that. But then we have another pasture to the east of the headquarters that we use for calving. There's a lot of good protection in it. We also calve down along the river. Areas that are partially fields, partially native grass. That's where we calve, and then 1st of May is the beginning of the grazing season. A lot of people hold off because a lot of times 1st of May the grass isn't ready. They like to, the Forest Service and the ranchers like to see a 3.5 leaf stage grass that's available. Somewhere around the 20th of May we usually start turning cows and calves out after we get branded. And then in the past here we've normally been starting on the river there due to the crescent wheatgrass situation. Early growth there. What it looks like the native grass in there is getting used pretty good. Somewhere around 50%. Try to eat that much. Then we start rotating through the lower river pastures. And then we eventually end up coming up here on the East River Road. When it comes to deciding when to move cattle, to rotate them through different pastures, you try to look at the side hills where cattle are lazy. They don't want to go up on the side hills. They like to graze the bottoms where it's lush. If you look at the overall picture and you try to picture 50% utilization. Right here would be an example of, if you look back further in the trees there's probably 50% utilization. Right here where we're standing is definitely beyond 50%, but you're going to find that mosaic pattern a lot of times. When cattle get to grazing, they like certain areas better than others. But letting cattle move around more where the water is and so forth should help change those grazing patterns. Even though you might have a grazed short grass in certain areas, you got to look at the big picture. While you're making the decision to move the cattle, if you decide to move them, you're on the lookout not only while you're moving them, but other times during the summer. You're always watching for cattle that need doctoring for pink eye or foot rot, any other lameness. Get a cow that's getting too lame and she's not getting to water, she's going to shrink away on you. Just try to maintain the overall health of the herd, I guess. Well, whenever we encounter a calf or a cow or a bull that needs doctoring, the bull, you you want to bring him home because he probably a little too much to handle on the end of a rope. But yearlings or calves, if you can catch them, you can catch them with a rope. And if you got somebody there that's got medicine or somebody that's a good hand, can doctor them by themselves too. And the thing that's becoming popular now is using these dart guns with antibiotics that are loaded in a syringe deal, and you shoot them and it injects that medicine into their system, and away they go. We have another pasture east of here that we haven't used at all yet. Normally that's where we go with our cows after we get done shipping and pregnancy testing and weaning calves. We usually go back in there, but it might become a situation now where we'll use that pasture in a different rotation. Try to use